on this channel. But of course, it has been a wild last week plus for your Lakers, as Mark Walter, 14 months after agreeing to buy the Lakers, has sold it again to Bob Iger.
Just 14 months after Mark Walter bought the Lakers, he's flipped it again to Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner. This isn't just a business transaction, it's a seismic shift that pulls the rug out from under the Lakers' long-term championship strategy, which was built on Jeanie Buss's vision. This isn't just a change of ownership, it's a complete reset. And what was just leaked about Jeanie's role proves exactly why.
Coming out as the Buss family has decided to sell its remaining 17.8% stake in the Los Angeles Lakers to the new majority owners, as ESPN had learned on Monday, as well as plenty of other sources. And once that transaction is completed...
So the Buss family has decided to sell their remaining 17.8% stake to the new majority owners, effectively ending an era. This isn't just a simple sale, it's a betrayal of the legacy Jerry Buss built. The Buss name has been synonymous with Lakers basketball for decades, and to see it sold off in pieces, especially after the recent struggles, it feels less like a strategic move and more like a concession. But here's what makes this even crazier: the implications for Jeanie Buss.
Other sources, and once that transaction is completed, Jeanie Buss will no longer have the needed ownership percentage to remain governor, because NBA guidelines require controlling owners/governors to own at least 15% of a franchise. She has been the governor of the Lakers since 2013, taking over after her father, Jerry Buss, passed.
And this is the bombshell. Once this transaction is completed, Jeanie Buss will no longer have the required ownership percentage to remain as the governor. She's been the face of the franchise since 2013, a symbol of continuity and connection to the Showtime era. Losing that control isn't just a demotion, it's a complete removal from the helm, leaving a power vacuum at the top that the Lakers, with their current roster, absolutely cannot afford. And that's not even the worst part. There's a deeper family struggle at play.
Put out by the Buss family said that we have decided as a family to sell the remaining Buss Family Trust shares to the Bob Iger Group as part of the ongoing transaction in this statement, and that we love the Lakers, Laker fans, and will continue to support Los Angeles, but it is time to use this opportunity to move on and exit gracefully.
The Buss family's statement about deciding to move on and exit gracefully sounds so clean, so organized, but we're about to find out the real story is anything but. This isn't a graceful exit, it's a forced hand, an internal battle masked by corporate speak. For a family that prides itself on unity, this kind of public detachment signals something far more fractured behind the scenes. And the true drama, the real shocker, is about to be revealed.
Mark Walter sale to Kushner and Iger, which valued the Lakers at $12.5 billion. At least 5 of the 6 siblings voted to sell, sources say. But this is where...
They got at least 5 of the 6 siblings to vote to sell. 5 out of 6. Now, most people hear that and think, okay, it's a family decision, however difficult. But watch what happens next when you find out who that one dissenting vote was. It completely changes the narrative from a simple sale to an all-out family war. This isn't just business, it's personal, and it's about to get incredibly spicy.
It gets interesting, really gets spicy, and the Los Angeles Lakers and the Buss family become the sports version of the Kardashians, as
the Los Angeles Lakers and the Buss family are becoming the sports version of the Kardashians. That analogy is harsh, but it's apt. The internal drama, the public disputes over control. This isn't what you expect from one of the most storied franchises in sports. It completely undermines any semblance of stability that the team needs, especially when you're trying to attract top-tier talent. And the who behind this fight is even more shocking.
The sports version of the Kardashians, as someone is putting up a fight, and if you had to guess who that person is, it is Jeanie Buss, as Shams Charania reported that Jeanie was the lone family member not in favor to sell, as the 5 siblings voted 5-0, including 2 of the 3 trustees.
Someone is putting up a fight, and if you had to guess, it is Jeanie Buss. Shams Charania reported that Jeanie was the lone family member not in favor of the sale, a 5-0 vote against her. This isn't just a disagreement. This is a public repudiation of the franchise's figurehead, the person who inherited the leadership from her father. It sends a chilling message about the internal chaos, but it gets even more complicated legally.
Including 2 of the 3 trustees to sell the Buss stake, sources said. Jeanie Buss's attorney says tonight that she intends to battle the remainder of the family in order to keep their share. So this is a 5v1 going on right now between Jeanie and the rest of her siblings.
Jeanie Buss's attorney says tonight that she intends to battle the remainder of the family in order to keep their share. This isn't just a verbal dispute, it's a legal war. A 5v1 battle for control of one of the NBA's most iconic franchises. This kind of internal strife is precisely what legendary owner Jeanie Buss always tried to avoid. But it seems his children are now openly defying his legacy. And this isn't the first time this has happened either.
Initially to Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner, and she's saying here that in 2017 the siblings also went to war over control of the Lakers. Buss's lawyer contends that the siblings cannot vote to sell the remaining family shares without her consent or with her consent. That's Jeanie Buss's lawyer.
Ramona Shelburne reported that in 2017 the siblings also went to war over control of the Lakers. Jeanie's lawyer contends that the siblings cannot vote to sell the remaining family shares without her consent. This isn't an isolated incident. It's a pattern of family infighting that has plagued the franchise for years. The continuity, the stability, the very identity of the Lakers is being ripped apart by these battles, and the legal specifics are even more complex.
Sell the remaining family shares without her consent or with her consent. That's Jeanie Buss's lawyer. The 5 other siblings who voted to sell this morning believe that the tag-along provision in the sale to Mark Walter, essentially that the family has the right to tag along to a sale at the valuation Walter got, gives them the right to do so. So spokesperson for Kushner and Iger had no comment when reached out also by ESPN. So this is definitely...
The 5 other siblings who voted to sell believe that the tag-along provision in the sale to Mark Walter gives them the right to do so, essentially valuing the Lakers at $12.5 billion. This isn't just about family loyalty, it's about a massive financial windfall that most of the siblings clearly want to capitalize on. This isn't just a disagreement over control, it's a clash between legacy and cold, hard cash, and is taking an extremely interesting turn.
Regardless of what happens, Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner are going to be the owners of this team, the majority owners of this team. Once that sale officially gets approved,
regardless of what happens, Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner are going to be the majority owners of this team. This is a done deal, a certainty. The battle isn't over who owns the team, but who controls its soul, its direction. It means the Buss family, as we know it in an ownership capacity, is officially done. But the real question is, what happens to Jeanie and the remaining Lakers staff now?
Officially gets approved, this is all going to happen. And so that's not necessarily what's the most different. The most different thing is going to be Jeanie Buss. Now, we all know that the rest of the siblings really aren't involved anymore, as Jeanie has fired, she fired Jim, she fired Jesse, and then she also fired...
The most different thing is going to be Jeanie Buss. We all know that the rest of the siblings really aren't involved anymore. As Jeanie has fired Jim, she fired Jesse. This isn't just a symbolic change. It's the final dismantling of the Buss family's operational control. Jeanie systematically removed her siblings from power, and now in a twist of irony she's being removed by them. It's a complete and utter power reversal. And this means a full Buss-proof era is beginning.
Lakers to Iger and to Kushner here. Jeanie Buss will not be in her position anymore, so we will be Buss-proof if you're the Lakers.
Jeanie Buss will not be in her position anymore. So we will be Buss-proof if you're the Lakers. This is the payoff. The Buss era, as we've known it, will officially be over. This isn't just a personnel change. It's the end of an identity, a family dynasty that has defined the Lakers for generations. It's a clean break, but at what cost to the team's culture and long-term vision? And the power structure within the front office will undergo a significant shift.
As a basketball team, it would mean that Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner would be the ones, I guess, with the final say and call on any decision that is made. It will not be Jeanie Buss, right? I'm assuming the Rambis family, Kurt Rambis, and I'm blanking on his wife's name, but she also, I think, is Linda Rambis.
It would mean that Bob Iger and Joshua Kushner would be the ones with the final say on any decision. It will not be Jeanie Buss. This is the moment where the full weight of the ownership change hits. The ultimate decision-making power will now rest outside the Buss family for the first time in decades. This shift in authority creates a whole new dynamic for Rob Pelinka and the coaching staff. This changes everything for the future of the Lakers.
I believe Rob Pelinka, from a basketball perspective, was the one that really had the most say in what was truly going on within the Lakers locker room in terms of who was on the team, who was being hired for basketball positions.
From a basketball perspective, Rob Pelinka was the one that really had the most say in what was truly going on within the Lakers locker room, in terms of who was on the team, who was being hired for basketball positions. This gives Pelinka immense, almost unchecked power. With Jeanie's traditional oversight removed, Pelinka now becomes the undisputed basketball voice, which is a double-edged sword. Has his track record truly earned him this kind of autonomy? And how will he wield it with the new head coach?
Hired for basketball positions, Rob Pelinka has mainly been the one pulling the strings, for the last several years here, as he's now, of course, the president of basketball operations. And we know that JJ Redick has a pretty big influence as well, being the head coach. Those two, to me, work in tandem to find out what is the best team for JJ and the best team also to build around Luka Doncic as well. So if anyone's really concerned about that,
Pelinka has mainly been the one pulling the strings for the last several years here, as he's now the president of basketball operations. And we know that JJ Redick has a pretty big influence as well, being the head coach. This setup with Pelinka and Redick working in tandem is the new foundation for the Lakers. The pressure on them is immense, with no Buss family buffer to absorb the blame. It all falls on their shoulders now, for better or worse. And this sudden change brings up major concerns for the immediate future.
Concerned about that, unless those two guys get removed from their positions, I expect, at least for this season, it's really going to be up to Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick to make these calls. And to me, I'm in favor of that. I know you can question what Rob Pelinka has done with some stuff over the years, but I'd rather have someone with a more proven track record in this sport with this franchise than somebody else.
Unless those two guys get removed from their positions, I expect, at least for the season, it's really going to be up to Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick to make these calls. I know you can question what Rob Pelinka has done with some stuff over the years, but I'd rather have someone with a more proven track record. This is a critical point. The immediate stability hinges on Pelinka and Redick remaining in their roles. But can we truly trust Pelinka's proven track record given some of his past decisions? And how does this affect free agency?
That necessarily is going to get thrown in here as the season starts really in just 2 months, as we're under 2 months away.
Someone that necessarily is going to get thrown in here as the season starts really in just 2 months? We're under 2 months away. The urgency is palpable. With the season fast approaching, there's no time for another leadership shakeup. The new owners have to trust Pelinka and Redick, at least for now, but that trust is built on a very unstable foundation given the dramatic circumstances, and this tight timeline severely impacts their ability to make additional roster moves.
Under 2 months away from seeing preseason basketball and about 2 months away from seeing regular season action. But again, we'll keep up with all this drama and stuff like that. I know a lot of you, including myself, are itching to see real basketball back on the floor. It's going to be a while till we see that, but can the Lakers make a different move in this meantime? Are they able to execute trying to get that starting power forward, whether it's Jonathan Kuminga, who my co-host Keji Opakuma just made an update on him, so check that out if you haven't already.
We're about 2 months away from seeing regular season action. Can the Lakers make a different move in this meantime? Are they able to execute trying to get that starring power for, whether it's Jonathan Kuminga? This is the core problem. The internal drama and ownership change are happening at the absolute worst time, potentially derailing any significant moves to bolster the roster. With such limited time, can Pelinka and Redick truly make the impactful changes needed to contend, or will they be stuck? And what does this mean for the star players already on the team?
If you haven't already, what else are the Lakers going to do to build out this roster and to make little extra tweaks around Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and the team as we enter this season? But to keep up with all that surrounding your Lakers, again, I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back, 7 out of 10 of you watching our videos.
What else are the Lakers going to do to build out this roster and make little extra tweaks around Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and the team as we enter this season? This isn't just about Luka or Austin. It's about every single player on that roster. The instability at the top trickles down, creating uncertainty. How do you convince a star free agent to join when the ownership is in flux, and the family that defined the team is at war? The Lakers' championship plan just completely imploded, leaving us with one giant question. What happens next?
Answered, and welcome to Lakers Digest here. My name is Hunter Pitkoff, where we cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers, whether it be different rumors, reports, breaking news, as well as different signings and trades, and I guess a whole new ownership saga. This is the place to be for your Los Angeles Lakers. Just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing here on this channel. As 7 out of 10 of you watching the videos, you're already watching,
examining this key moment. Unanswered. And welcome to Lakers Digest here. My name is Hunter Pitkoff, where we cover everything surrounding your loss. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
He was the one who was the head of basketball operations. They fired him because he did a terrible job. Joey and Jesse ran the scouting department. Did an admirable job at it, but then once the team went a different direction with Mark Walter, that's when Jeanie decided to let go two of her brothers. She is fired.
Examining this key moment. They fired him because he did a terrible job. Joey and Jesse ran the scouting department. Did an admirable job at it, boo. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.